What political reforms occurred before the collapse? Imagine living in a country where your voice barely matters, and the government controls almost every aspect of life. This was the reality for many in the Soviet Union until the late 1980s. Under Mikhail Gorbachev, a series of political reforms began to change this landscape. Gorbachev introduced two major initiatives: Perestroika, which means restructuring, and Glasnost, meaning openness. These reforms aimed to revitalize the stagnant economy and allow for more freedom of expression. For the first time, citizens could openly criticize the government and discuss issues that had been silenced for decades. In 1989, Gorbachev took a bold step by introducing multi-candidate elections. This was a radical shift from the previous system, where only Communist Party-approved candidates could run. Now, Soviet citizens had the chance to vote for multiple candidates, including independents and reformists. This change marked a significant departure from the one-party rule that had dominated for so long. The March 1989 election for the Congress of People's Deputies was a historic moment. Voters could choose their representatives for the first time, leading to many Communist Party officials losing their seats. This election demonstrated that citizens were ready to exercise their newfound rights and reject unopposed candidates. In October 1989, the Supreme Soviet made another important decision. They voted to eliminate guaranteed seats for the Communist Party in elections. This reform allowed local republics to have more say in their elections and reduced the party's control over the political process. Gorbachev also pushed for direct elections of republic presidents. This change meant that citizens in the Soviet Union's republics could directly elect their leaders, further decentralizing power. This shift encouraged nationalist movements and demands for greater autonomy within the republics. Local governance also saw changes. Previously, local councils were filled through appointments by the Communist Party. The new reforms required that council members be elected by the people, weakening the party's grip on local politics. However, these reforms were not without limits. Only half of the Congress of People's Deputies were elected, while the rest were still appointed by the party. Political parties other than the Communist Party were still not allowed to compete, meaning the one-party system was not fully dismantled. Despite these changes, Gorbachev aimed to preserve the Soviet Union and socialism. In 1991, he sought to negotiate a new union treaty to create a looser confederation. However, this plan faced strong opposition from nationalist leaders and hardliners within the government. The failure of this treaty, along with a coup attempt by hardliners, sped up the collapse of the Soviet Union. These political reforms, while intended to modernize the Soviet system, unleashed forces that the existing structures could not manage. They eroded the Communist Party's monopoly on power and created political instability, ultimately leading to the dissolution of the Soviet Union by the end of 1991.